All right, Shalom. It's the brother Kuna. I'd like to start off by giving our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakradas. Peace and blessings to all the brothers in this truth. Back at you today with another quick lesson. The title of this one will be called Debunking the Miraculous Conception. Right? Now, we all know what the miraculous conception is, right? Which is the Virgin Mary giving birth to Yahweh Shai, or Jesus Christ, right? As most people would call him, without having sex with a man, right? She just became pregnant, right? Well, I'm gonna bring out a few scriptures, debunking that, which shows that that was false, right? But that's the Christian mentality, the Christian belief, the Christian doctrine that we always taught. I was a victim of it. I'm sure majority of people was a victim of it, of believing that that's how Jesus Christ came into this world, right? But it's not. And I'm gonna bring out a few scriptures. But before I do that, I want to go to the definition of the word debunk. And it says, expose the falseness or hollowness of a myth, idea, or belief, right? So it's just exposing, or bringing out the truth, right? The real truth of whatever belief or perception that we might have on a certain, like I said, myth or anything like that, right? Now from there, I'm gonna jump right into the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and I'm gonna start at verse 1, and it says, I myself also, now this is King Solomon speaking, right? It says, I myself also am a mortal man like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth, right? The offspring of him that was first made of the earth, right? So it says, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, right? We all know the how long it takes for a baby to be born in that whole process, right? It's a being compacted in blood of the seed of man and the pleasure that came with sleep, right? So being compacted with the being compacted in the blood of the seed of man, right? Which is the sperm, and the pleasure that came with sleep. Now the pleasure that comes with sleep is what? That's sex, right? That's why people use the term I'm going to sleep with you, or I was sleeping with her, or him. You know what I mean? So that's what it's saying there, verse 3, and it says, and when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature, and the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do, right? So he letting you know, like, he was born the same way everybody that came before him was. Every man that came before him was born. He was born the same way, right? And it says, I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with cares. For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth, right? So he letting you know that no other king, no other man, no other woman had any different type of way of birth than the way he was born, right? So now we also know, right, King Solomon, the Lord came to him and gave him a vision of the creation of the earth. That's part of why he was so wise, right? Because he gave him the creation of the earth from the beginning to the end, how everything was created, how the earth was going to be destroyed, so on and so forth, right? That's part of why he was why his wisdom was why he had so much wisdom, right? So like I said, for there is no king that had any other beginning of birth, right? So now from there, I'm gonna jump to I'm gonna go to Hebrews 2, right? I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, "For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him and the power of death, that is, the devil, and delivered them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. For verily he took not on for verily he took not on him the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham." So they saying he took not on him the nature of angels. He was not brought into this world the same way angels was brought into this world. He was brought into this world the same way man was brought into this world. And how was man brought into this world? Right? Man was brought into this world by their father and their mother having sex with each other, giving birth. Right? The Lord was brought into this world the same way. Right? So now from there we're gonna jump to the book of Luke. We're going to start at verse, this is the book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 28, and verse 48, Salaki, and it says, "And when they saw him, they were amazed, and his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing." Right? Thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. So he had a father, right? He did not just only have a mother. Jesus Christ was born and he had a mother and a father, and they had sex with each other, which brought on his birth. Right? Let me jump back to Wisdom of Solomon. I'm going to go to, "For he have given," this is verse 17, "For he have given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements." That's going back into King Solomon and how he was given the knowledge of, everything of the world. Why he was so wise, because the Lord had gave him that wisdom. And that's why what he's saying is very creditable, as he speaks, saying that there was no other king born any other way other than the way there was no other king born different than the way he was born. Right? Yeah, that was it on that, man. That was just a few quick precepts of debunking the miraculous conception of Jesus Christ, Yahushua, right? He was born to us the same way we was born on this earth. So with that being said, hopefully this was an edifying video. Till the next time I say